So in this video, I'm going to be installing all the parts back onto this dashboard for my 78 Corvette, and then installing the dashboard into my 78 Corvette. If you're familiar with my channel, then you know that I've already made a video in great detail where I took this dash out and I documented every screw and so on. And then I had a video where I rebuilt this dash and rewrapped it with vinyl. And so now we got to put everything together and put it back in the car. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing, this is the top of the dash, and I'm putting the speakers back on. And just as a side note, let me digress for just a minute. I'm not happy with how it turned out. The vinyl wrap did not turn out as well as I thought it would. It's okay, but I'm going to buy a new dashboard next year. Just because it just turned out okay. I just bought some new seats I'm going to be assembling and installing, new carpet. So, but hang with me. So speakers, that's what I'm starting off with. Okay. Okay, so there's the speakers in. And then I got the other speaker in. And you can see I didn't get the dash smooth enough. That's what I just like. I made a whole video on that with the Bondo and stuff, and I just didn't take the time to sand it smooth enough. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so next I have to put on these two brackets. And if you remember from my video where I took the dash out, these two brackets were giving me a terrible time. And they face out like this. And this one is behind the glove box, super easy to get to. This one is behind the speedometer and tach. There's just barely enough room. I mean, I would love to leave this loose. And actually, I think I'm going to leave this just a little bit loose so that I can, it has to clip on, and I'm going to show you right now where it clips on. Okay, so I'm inside the car here, obviously. Sorry, I'm trying to get jimmied around here. And this lip right here, where my flashlight's touching, see that's a little bit of a lip? That's where that clip goes. It grabs it and keeps your dash in place. Other than the side screws, which is here and down there, that's your main support of keeping your dash solid. So it is important. I'm going to leave the screws a little loose and then tighten them after it gets on, because it is a lot of trouble. But it's very doable, but just, yeah, anyway. Okay, so that's what they look like when they're on. There's the glove box, the hole for the glove box. And then that's how the bracket goes on. And that lip basically slides underneath there and then grabs and stays right there. So just as a side note, since I vinyl wrapped it myself, I have to find all the holes and cut out for them, okay? And this is, if you've seen my gauge cluster video where I take all this and disassemble it and put it back together with new. This is the old plastic piece. It's busted, it's cracked, it's terrible. But I'm using it to find where I need to poke holes in the vinyl. So just as a side note, a little trick. So that's how it's going to sit in there, and I got the holes cut out for it already. All right, so next I'm going to put the glove box door on, and I taped this here because when I put the screw through here, this clip has to be on it. It's for one of the electrical components. And I did this just as a little helpful hint, so I know there's the screws I need for this. So I'm going to get this glove box door on is what I'm doing now. Okay, to get this glove box in, I have to come in from the other side and bring it up through here. There we go. There we go. Now, let's see, I don't need that taped there anymore. I know it goes there. Okay, now ready to put this glove back back in there. Okay, so I'm going to start this one, maybe. Oops, I had it in there. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're rocking and rolling. Okay. Now this next one is what holds the electrical connection, so I have to put the bolt through there first, and like this, and I need my extension to get it started here. Okay. There we go. Okay. But you see, it's not easy to jimmy the camera around. I'm going to leave these a little bit tight because I'm going to have to move this box around to get it in the box door to get it in the right spot. And of course, the other side. Just going to leave them a little bit snug so I can still move this glove box just a little bit to get it centered. There we go. Now that I'm happy with the placement of this, I'm screwing it down nice and taut. It's where I want it. Sure that bracket stays like that. Perfect. That's nice and taut. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the two vent assemblies, and I'll just give the audience a quick look at the vent assembly here. And I'm looking through my camera while I do this, so I apologize. I'm not very talented here. Okay, but there's two screws that hold it on. And it goes in through here like this, and I have to be careful that I don't disrupt any of the vinyl. So all right, but it just goes in there like that. Oh, and I do want to note, see how that tab is angled slightly like this? So you want to, it goes in this way so that there is where it goes in, it's slightly angled too. You can't really see that with the camera, and I apologize, but see that angle right there? Okay, that's what you want right there. All right. Okay, so with this vent in place, I am going to bolt it down here. I'm sorry to show the back of my hand so much, but there we go. All right. Okay. So that one, we'll do the other side. Okay, so there's what it looks like bolted down. You remember this this is all just plastic, so you don't want to sit there and, you know, really torque it. I just get it snug, and then just a little bit further. That's all it needs. It's just plastic. You don't want to break anything. Okay, so there's what it looks like on the finished side. So that's in there. And then I'm going to do the other side. I don't need to record that. You get the idea. It's just like that, and it fits in there. Real quick look at the vents. And while I'm here, I'll show you why when I reupholstered, I got around here and I could not get these wrinkles out. I used heat gun and all that stuff, but you know, a lot of it looks great. Like, you know, all this corner right here, all this right here turned out amazing. but there were just some spots, excuse me, I just couldn't get. And here's the other vent. I'm really happy with that. And like I said, next year I'm just going to do a new dash, but for now this is good. Okay, so this light switch, I'll show you all a trick to it I've seen online where a lot of people were trying to figure out how to get this out. So if you like that, okay, like if it's on your dash and that's how you turn your lights on, there's a button underneath here and you push that all the way and it releases. Okay, then you can unscrew this and voila. Okay. Okay, so now that we have it all apart, okay, I've got these pieces and this. So what I'm going to do, there's for your 2 vacuum hoses. So bring this around to behind the dash. Okay, just like that. You can see that. Okay, there's those 2. Sorry, there they are. There's the 2 vacuum hoses. All right. So next, make that a little brighter so you can see. So I'm going to put this on here, just like that. Oops, upside down. Jeez. There, just like that. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to clean this. Let me clean that. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got this cleaned up a little bit better. Let's try that again. I'm trying to make this a fairly quick video. Again, your 2 vacuum hoses are right here. Got the lights on the right way now. I'm going to take this and screw that in. Bear with me. There it goes. Okay. Now, I'll show you another something that I have to do. Okay, so that's finger tight, so hang on. Okay, so of all the dang tools that I have around here, I don't have, and I'll show you what I mean, a screwdriver wide enough to hit that. This almost is. So, I know some people have used chisels. I've got this kind of this all-in-one scraper tool, and it's actually perfect. So I can get that in there and tighten that the rest of the way. Okay. Let me show you what I'm doing. Right there like that. Just like that. Okay, I nearly got it. That's pretty tight. I'm going to stop right there. Okay, and so now there's the switch. Okay, and there's the 2 vacuum hoses. Okay, pointing in that direction. So there's what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to put the knob back in. Okay, so now that the assembly's in there, through there, and again, this is the problem I had when I revinyled it. So anyway, this now will just, you can just kind of feel, and then when it's in the right spot, just push it in, and that's it. Right there. Yep, okay. Just like that. There's your light switch, and there you go. Okay. Okay, so next I'm going to install the windshield wiper. It goes right there on the dash. It only takes 1 screw, okay? And then all these things kind of snap into place into this opening. So what I'm going to do next is spin the dashboard around and go ahead and assemble all this. All right. Okay, so now we're on the back side of the dash. Here's our washer switch. So I'm going to come around here, bring it through like this, and I'm going to hit that 1 screw right there. Okay, I'm going to put that in. Sorry to show the back of my hand so much, but it's hard to do this and record it all at the same time. With me, I could move a lot faster if I wasn't making vidges, but I do enjoy making vidges, so I just have to get used to moving a little slower. And I'm an old guy anyway, so moving slower is good for me. Okay, so there's what it looks like on the other side. And now this bracket goes in there like this. And so we're going to put this bracket in here. And it's a tight fit. If you watched my video where I took the dash out, I have interior tools, okay, which help tremendously. And I think I'm going to digress for just a second and show what I mean, because they've helped me so much. If you've seen all my videos, then I'm sorry you've already seen this. I'm not being promoted. My wife bought this tool set for me, and I thought, oh, it might come in handy from time to time. No, I use it every time. This is my interior tool kit. You can find them on eBay. And I think this one is, I'll probably be using this when I rebuild the seats in my upcoming video. These are for electrical connections, you know, splitting things apart and then bringing them back together. If you're familiar with electrical connections in a car, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, a lot of great stuff. Comes in handy a lot. FYI, there's my gauge cluster that I rebuilt, put back together with a lot of new parts. Okay, back to it. Come on, let's do it. Okay, so getting this piece on takes a little more than a smile, because I had to use my plastic interior pry bars to get it off. And it is difficult to get in, and I'm fighting it. Jiminy Jillikers. Come on, you. Okay, I think I need to start with the bottom in first. Yeah, that helps. Okay, so I think I've nearly got it. I think I'm going to have to pry it in with one of my pry bars. Okay, hang on, let me go get a pry bar. Okay, gang, I'm sorry to spend so much time with this, but I try to make my videos honest so that my audience can see what they're up against. And I don't like it when people make videos and they edit out the struggles that they had and let on like it was super easy or something. So I try to show the good and the bad and the me. I don't know. Okay, hang on a minute. I gotta look at this. Okay. Not that one. This one. Let's see if I can. There we go. Hang on. Here we go. Get in there. You son of a biscuit. Get in there. Come hell or high water. You're going to get in there. And I'm sorry to show the back of my hand so much. Hey. Hey. Oh my God, that's it. Okay. I need to do a little bit of adjusting, but that got it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Anyway, I didn't mean to take so much time with that, but there it is. All right. Let's move on. Actually, before we move on, I actually was able to take this tool, and I noticed that this corner wasn't quite in there, and I was able to jimmy it with this wedge tool, just like this, okay? That's all I did with it. Just push that in there like so. There. Okay, so I am much happier with that. That looks pretty good. This stuff is unfortunate, but it'll be repaired next year. Okay, so got everything assembled on the dash. Like I said, don't judge me on my vinyl wrap. You know, it turned out good, except for some areas like this. But it's light years better than it was. There's a big Corvette show coming up, Mid-American Corvette. It's kicking off their 50th year. And I need to do carpet and seats next. So new dash is gonna have to wait till next year. But everything's back in here. It's time to get the dash back in the car and start hooking things up. Okay, so gang, you're not gonna miss much, but I do have to set the camera down. I've got the dash right there, on the hood of the car, ready to go. I've got the T-top out to give me a little more room, got the steering wheel out. I'm gonna open this door, and then I am going to just set the dash in there, okay? And then I'll start recording. But all I'm doing is just taking that dash on the hood of the car and setting it in here. Okay, so I've got the dash just kind of sitting there. You can see through the windshield. It's not actually all the way in place because I have to connect all the wiring and the AC, heating AC ductwork and the vacuum hoses to the light switch. So it's just kind of sitting there right now. The steering wheel out makes it a hell of a lot easier. Okay, so I gotta start getting things connected. Okay, gang, bear with me. This is very difficult to record. I don't have a place to jimmy my stand, and I don't want to create shadow blocks, but there is my two vacuum hoses. Oh, right there. So, see how there's a green and a black? The green, excuse me, the green vacuum hose goes on the far back knob, and then the solid black one comes to the forward one. And I need to plug in these plugs. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so I found a good place to show the audience what I'm doing. So there's the dash, okay, coming around. Here's the light switch, okay. Here's the plug. I'm gonna plug that in right there, okay. And then here's the wiper switch, which I'm going to plug in right up here, right up there, okay. Okay, so here's a closer look. This is behind the wiper. See those pins? They go in those holes. Okay, so I'm just gonna put those, there we go. My elbow is holding the light there. There, just like that. So I'm gonna set the camera down and do that. Okay, so now I wanna show you, if you can see in here, bear with me, this is difficult to record here. Okay, I still can't show the audience. Hold on a minute. Let me do this. Okay, there's the vacuum hoses to the light switch. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. Okay, it's not exactly in the right spot, but nearly. I'm going to do the duct work now. Okay, I'm going to hook up the heating AC ductwork to what we screwed on the back of the dash. I'm going to unite it with the ductwork behind the car and get it all in place. This needs brought up in place, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so if you see, That right there, there's the vent that we put in, and there it's united with the duct work behind the car. Okay, now I'm gonna go do that to the other side. Okay, gang, I'm on the other side. There's our dash with the vent we put in, and there's the duct work, and there's the piece that used to unite. Okay, I apologize for the shaky camera, but there. Okay, perfect. Sorry for the back of my hand. There it goes. Okay, actually that wasn't bad. There it is. Okay, so that's, the ductwork is connected to the dash, to the vents, okay? Okay, so now I'm ready to stamp the dash in place of, exactly where it needs to be. That's what I'm gonna do. And if you remember, I'm talking about, bear with me, this is hard to get to, those clips. Oh, where is it? There, that clip, okay? That I have to put some pressure on this dash on both sides to make that clip across that lip. That clip has it's like almost like a male and female end, and so I've got to get that together. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so I'm going to give the dash the final snug to, oh, there it goes. Did you hear that? Okay, it's snapped on there. Okay, so now that's in place, I'm going to put some screws in here, and I need to replace this. This has a crack. I knew it had a crack. Yeah. I think next year when I put in my new dash, I'll probably have to put in a new plastic thing. I did not crack it. It was already cracked. I know that sounds like, yeah, right, but it was. I'm using some old parts in here too. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put some screws in here. Okay, so now I need to screw the speedometer, tachometer in, and there's no real trick to it, but there's just a little trick. So the screws I need are these 5, but the top 3 go in now to mount this up like it's supposed to, and these side ones, I like keep shifting, the side ones don't go in now, they go in with that plastic lens piece. Okay, so there's a close-up look at what I'm doing right there. Those 3 across the top go in before your plastic visor. Okay, so just as a tip, the center one, there's not room for a screwdriver, so you have to have this kind of a socket to, I'm not left-handed, I should have grabbed the camera with my left hand. There, like this. You have to have a socket to get the middle one in. Okay, so now I'm going to put, this lensing piece on, and it has a couple tabs, if you see that, and then see that, that's where the tabs go. Now remember, this is the part it's a little tricky. So there's 3 little bitty screws that go 1, 2, 3 on the top, and then take these like we just used for the top, and they go in through the side of this now this time, and go through everything into the dash. All right. Okay, so now that the lensing piece is on, see how that trims that out real nice. Now, this is what I was talking about. This screw here goes in to the side, and You can't see what I'm doing real well, but there. Okay, so that goes in there. I'll put that in there. There we go. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I just can't find a place to jimmy my stand. All right. Okay. So from the absolute beginning, I'm 2 hours in, and I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm very happy with how it's going. Got all these switches hooked up. Speedometer, tachometer, the vents. On this side, I got to come over and get this center pulley piece set just right, and put the glove box in. I got to put the screws around the corner, and then the center console. But it's about 11 o'clock at night, and I think I'm going to call it good for now. So just real quick, I took that T-top out. I didn't really need to, but I thought it'd help me get the dash in originally. But yeah, here's the progress where we're at. All right, I'm anxious to get all this tedious stuff done so I can get that gauge cluster back on. So seats are coming next. I'll be working on that. I already made a video of my unboxing of all the rebuild stuff that I need. Okay, so I've switched over to the dash, or I'm sorry, to the glove box side, and I've got this that I have to get snapped back into this bracket behind the glove box, which is right there. So I'm going to try to do this looking through the camera. Here we go. Oh, hey, that wasn't too bad. All right, so that's back in. So I'll give you a hint. Hook up your speaker wire before you put the dash all the way in place, because I didn't do that, and you can see how far I've got my arm in there. Sorry for the shaky camera. Okay, there it is. Okay, so, and under the glove box, sorry, under the glove box is okay, and behind the glove box was easy enough. It's right there. There's the speaker, there's the connection, and the other speaker, there was just enough room to get my hand back there and get it plugged into that speaker, but it was a real pain. So if you can find a way to do that before, you can learn from my mistake on that. Okay, so next in the glove box, I'm going to be reinstalling the switch that turns the glove box light off and on. And I tell you, there's a plug, and that other wire broke, and it's supposed to be soldered in there somewhere. I think for now, I'm just going to cap this off with a Kearney and just electrical tape around this. Here's my electrical tape. And just kind of kill this off, because I'm going to be taking this dash out next year anyway, and I'll deal with it then. Okay, so that's what I mean. I put the switch in, and then I put my Kearney on, put all this electrical tape, and I'm just going to zip tie this back here out of the way, because I'm going to be replacing this dashboard next year. But yeah, it just goes there. But this video is just to show how I'm assembling and installing the dashboard. The fact that the dashboard has a bunch of flaws in it like this doesn't matter as far as showing what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. And so when I get my new dash next year or whenever, next year or sooner, I'll make a video on that too. Okay, so there's that in place, and there where I've zip tied it just out of the way for now. So I need to deal with all this air vent ductwork. And so this piece has fallen off a couple times, and reinstall that. I'll try to show where it goes. Okay, so it goes right here like this where my flashlight is touching, and then right down there my flashlight is touching right there. It's basically the other side of that vent. Sorry, I'm doing all this looking through my camera. So I'm going to put that back on. It goes on super easy. Like I said, it's actually fallen off. I've put it on and it keeps falling off. But now it's time to mount it permanently. Okay, so I've got all the what I'm calling the duct work. It's the air vent passage. So duct work, I guess would be correct. And it's supposed to sit right there. And this keeps becoming undone. So I tell you, I think I'm going to pop a screw right in there. Not to be confused with Papa Smurf, but I think I'm just going to drill a little hole, put a machine screw right through there to hold that together. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so I do realize that when the center console was in place, that holds this here, but I want it to stay there on its own. And this is the screw I'm using. There's the drill bit, and I'm just gonna pop it right there, just like that. So I'm gonna drill a hole there first, and then put that screw in. Okay, so I've drilled the hole, putting that screw in just the way. All right. Okay, so there it is, just like that, and that held all that ductwork in place, and it seems yeah, that stiffened it up, keeping that in place now. Okay, so that's it for the ductwork. That's all right, so let's keep moving. And just real quick, I'm going to get to what this is. And it's funny how many Corvette owners don't know what this is, and it'll be reinstalled. And I didn't know what it was for the longest time either. So it wasn't until somebody told me, and then I went, oh yeah, that makes sense. So stay tuned, and when I install this, I'll say what it is. It's underneath the dash there. All right. So just for real quick, I wasn't going to show this, but I thought, well, maybe somebody out there might come in handy. This is my old gauge cluster. I rebuilt the new one, and the new one's about to be installed. But I just wanted to do a dry fit and make sure I've got the dash lined up before I put these screws in the ends, like right there. That will really hold it in place, hold the dashboard in place, that is. So I just wanted to make sure I'm on the right track, and I am. Everything lines up. Super happy about that. Yeah, oh, and this is that ductwork. Remember I was talking, I said this gauge cluster will hold it in place. There you go. There's where it sits. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, put the 4 screws in, and I'll show you what this screw looks like here in just a second. Let me get this in while I've got it in place. All right, there's one, and we'll take a look at that screw. Okay, there's what the screw looks like. Okay, now I'm going to put this one in, and I'm going to have to get my ratchet to get it in. I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, so when you're dealing with the interior of a car or anywhere in the car, some of these screws are hard to get to because the door's in the way. I can't use just a screwdriver like I did up there. So that's why I have this ratchet that has the tip to take Phillips head or whatever, and so I'm going to ratchet that in. Okay. Okay, and so now I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other side. It's the same situation. Got to use a screwdriver and then ratchet with the screwdriver tip. I'm not going to record that because it's the exact same. You get the idea. Okay. Okay, so this is the passenger side, and I've got the screws in same way as I did the driver's side. All right, and the vinyl wrap, the reason why I'm going to go ahead and get a new dashboard later is because of all these wrinkles I just could not get out. And even with the heat gun, there's one. Anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to insert the glove box. Okay. Let's see. Over here. I want something. I thought it was going a little too easy. Oh, there it goes. All right. There we go. Right there, just like that. Now I kept these 4 screws, or I'm sorry, 6 screws, or oh no, it is just 4 screws. That is well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. So I'm missing 2 screws, but I think I know where they're at. I failed to put them in the bag for some reason, but okay. So anyway, I'm just going to screw this plastic in here. Okay, so I did find the missing 2 screws. They're over there where I was keeping this plastic glove box. So put this in here, and I'll show you again. There's. All right. I don't want to break this plastic, so I'm not going to torque it down too much. But okay. So there's 1, 2, and I haven't put that one in yet. 3, 4, 5, 6, and again, this is a situation where I'm gonna have to use this setup. Okay, so my screwdriver doesn't fit in here, so I'm just gonna use this ratchet system. So I'm gonna get these 6 screws in. Okay, so there's the glove box in, and there we go. Okay, so in case you were wondering, say, hey, wait a minute, the glove box is dark blue, your dash is black. And this is, the dash is actually, didn't turn out too terrible bad. I just got dust all over it from working on here, but I actually like the offset of this being dark blue and the dash being black. When I order my new dash, I don't know if I'm going to order it black or dark blue. So I'm going to leave this alone for now. I can always revinyl it or even just paint it. But I kind of like the offset color, believe it or not, because inside this interior is dark blue and black. So I kind of like that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now I'm going to install this piece, which goes right there. This is the steering column. It goes right there. It's held together, or it's held in place with 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is what the screws look like. There's only 2 of them. I got the other 2 on my workbench. And now, this right here is for this. And this is used to, when you turn your headlights on, you push this down. And then you push this down, it keeps them open. Then you can turn your headlights off, but your headlights will stay in the open position. And that's what that is. And it gets mounted through there. Okay, so let me show you how that's mounted. You can see it right through there. But here, this is what I want you to see. Right there, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to put these 4 screws in and get that mounted. Okay, so I now have that piece on. That's the 4 screws that hold it on. And I know what you're stinking. It's blue. I know. I thought about painting it black, but I just don't know what I'm going to do with my dash yet. I've got this together. There's some wrinkles around that. Yeah, some of this I was able to get really phenomenal, and some of it not. But anyway, there it is. There's my old gauge cluster shell. Now there's a few things I want to show you about this gauge cluster. And I'm going to show you right now because it'll be difficult for me to show you when I'm working with it. Okay, so what I want to show you, there's the gauge cluster. And you see that right there. And there's another one on that side right there. There is a nut and bolt system. That's just right on the bottom side of the radio. It's easy to overlook. And those go right there and right there. And it's just a panhead screw with the bolt on the other side, and that helps hold that gauge cluster to the center console so that it stays matched up real nice. So that's there. Be aware, it's hard to see it, but there it is. Okay, so it's time to put in the actual gauge cluster. I'm sitting on a screwdriver and it hurts like hell. There we go. It's a little better. So the gauge cluster, it's plugged in. There's just one connection right here, and we're going to take a look at it with the real gauge cluster and put that in. Okay, so this is the back. This is my real gauge cluster. It's old one, real one, and that's where that plugs into. Okay, and you got to make sure that these teeth stay lined up, these copper teeth. See, this top one's a little bit out of alignment. There, and I just adjusted it with my pinky finger. All right, so we're going to plug it in. I'm nervous and excited. And oh, I very nearly forgot. That plug is for the radio. I don't have my radio yet, as you can see, so I'm just installing it without a radio for right now, and then when it comes in, I'll take this back out and install the radio. Okay, gauge cluster is electronically plugged in, and now I have to get it in to its proper position. Okay, so I've got it sitting here just like that, and I'm going to got to fight it a little bit. Oh, there it goes. Nice. All right, and now for the top part, get that in. Come on. Okay. There. Okay, I got those pieces lined up, and I need my second hand, and I don't have a way to jimmy my stand, but basically I've got my foot keeping pressure on the dashboard, keeping it out of my way so that I'll be free to push this in. It's almost there. I'm sorry, gang. I just got to set the camera down. There's no place for me to jimmy my stand. Just hang on with me and let me just use my second hand so I can push this in. Okay, so I've got it in position, and I just needed my second hand, and I've got 4 panhead screws. This is what I took out, but I don't think they're the original screws. I think originally they were black. I'm going to use them for now, but I'm going to go online and find some black panhead screws. But I got one in, and they do work. I don't like seeing the silver heads, so let me get these screwed in here, and we'll come right back. Okay, so I was able to find 2 black panhead screws that size, but I guess for now on the top I'll have to leave these silver ones. I can't find any more in my shop, so I'll probably order some. But there's the gauge cluster in. Okay, and pretty happy with that. And I've got the speaker covers in that. I gave them the vent cover. I gave them a fresh coat of paint. I'm going to put those in right now. They just snap in place. And then we'll take a look at the whole thing. And a quick side note. If you, didn't mean to sound like a certain comedian, if you are looking for a video on how to take the steering wheel off, I've already made one. And I've actually got it in a couple different videos where I replaced the signal switch. I've got a video. I've done it so much, I stopped, renting from auto places. But you need a puller kit, and I just bought one for like, I don't know what it was, 40 bucks, I think. But you can rent them from an auto store, and you have to be careful because it is under pressure. There's a spring under here. Okay. And so I also want to point out the speaker covers. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I've, there's the dash and all that. I see it's dark blue and black in here, so it could go however. I'm sorry, if you've seen my other videos, you know that these were trashed, and I've brought them back to life. I sanded them down, repainted them, and I just kind of stuck them in there. And I don't know, I wondered about using high gloss. I kind of like it, but I don't know. So that's it as far as assembling the dash and installing it. I don't have my radio yet, but you get the idea. It's getting all those lined up with the console. It's natural state. It wants to line up. The gauge cluster wants to line up with the console. And yes, the glove box is blue, but man, I don't know. I kind of like it. We'll see. I don't have to decide anytime soon. But the dash is back together. I'm excited. It looks okay. There's some flaws. If I get close, you can see I didn't get it smooth enough. Too many wrinkles. So next I'm going to be doing the seats. You've probably seen my unboxing of my rebuild kit for the seats. This is what the seats look like now. That's the next thing I'm going to do, along with the new carpet. And that'll probably be it. I'm going to go to the Corvette show. Mid-America Corvettes kicking off their 50th year. And I'm excited to be there with this. So if you see it there, if you go there, say hi. This is what it looks like. It's a silver anniversary. I've got lots of videos of this car. So anyway, now that I've done it once with this, I gotta say, it's not as bad as I thought. I did a video on the removal. I don't remember how long it took me. I think it took me 3.5 hours to get this dashboard out, and it took me a few days to rebuild it. And I should have just painted it, or did the flecking, or flocking. I mean, sorry, the flocking. I'm sorry, I'm out in my garage and somebody's walking around behind me. Hold on. I didn't see anybody, but if you're familiar with my channel, you've seen me work on that beast a time or two. Okay, anyway, back to the silver anniversary 1978 Corvette. Let's look at that dash. It wasn't bad. I gotta tell you, when I get my new dash and the radio, I think I could do it. I think I could take this dash out, put the new dash in with the radio on a Saturday. I really do. Hopefully that helps you make the audience make their decisions. But yeah, all in all, now that I've done it, and maybe this video can help you, I'm going to, when I get my new dash, see, that's what I'm talking about. See those wrinkles there? I just could not get them out. It was too much to re-vinyl. Should have did flocking or paint. And then maybe it would have been all right. But this video this video is trash, maybe. But this dashboard is trashed, and I'm excited. Looks light years where it was. If you're familiar with my channel, you've seen it how it was before. My God, it was ready. The garbage man wanted it, and about nobody else. So yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think I can do it again on a Saturday, take that old this dash out and put a new one in. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. A lot better than it was. Oh yeah.